If you are thinking about writing a book, I say yes, and get started as soon as you can. It's such a great adventure. So my friend and I have written 4 guided journals, and then I started on my children's early reader series. And it's just been delightful. My family and I adopted a 5-year-old black mutt, those who are euthanized most often, and we decided to memorialize his life with us. We had a whole 6 years with him by writing books about him. So I was inspired by a number of items that I had that were Sam's when he lived with us, and this picture has been the primary component of my inspiration. So this is Sam. He was just a really great dog, and our first book was just telling the story about how we came to choose him at the shelter. So the inspiration comes from that very moment and the lifespan of Sam with us over those 6 years. So we just wrote about the process of going to the shelter and how you actually introduce yourself to dogs, what the volunteer's role is, what the shelter workers are doing to help you learn more about the dog and help you find a good match. And then after we adopted Sam, we brought him home, and he goes on all these irregular adventures. He had to go to, first we took him shopping, and of course he had to go to the vet to get his shots, and he goes to the kennel when we're gone. We took him on an airplane. He had a birthday party in the backyard. All these adventures that we had with Sam became the genesis of what inspired me to actually start writing. So first you got to find a pencil and an eraser, and or a laptop if you are easier to write on an electronic device. And you just start writing. And these are my notes, page by page, of how I wanted the book to go. And then you find an illustrator, someone who has the frame of mind that you want your book to look like. And we found this fabulous guy, John Keeling, who's 29 years at Hallmark. And you can see he captured the likeness of Sam quite clearly. And we really wanted a kind of a messy watercolor so that would be beautiful art with a fun, happy story. And so once you have the text, you start pairing the text with illustrations that the art director selects for the book. So if they're driving away in a car, he draws a car. And you then begin to place the text with the illustration on what's called a storyboard. So I have several storyboards going here on our next book, Sam Goes Shopping. And you literally just make notes to yourself on where you want the text, where you want the illustration, and then there's a designer who plays a part in putting the text and the illustrations together in an interesting way on the actual page. So there's a lot goes on in making a book. When you finally get your book essentially finished, then there is an opportunity for you to ask friends and family to read it, give suggestions, make edits, and certainly you want to have it proofread by a professional because you've looked at it so many times it all sort of melts into one. And then finally go to the stage where you actually turn it into a book. So this is an early version of our first book about Sam. And you can see that the ideas go from in your head to paper to illustrations and then finally onto a storyboard and into the actual book. It's very, very encouraging to sort of just keep after it. Just try to write a little bit every day, or perhaps even lay out a fake book. I oftentimes just put together a fake book with all the different pages I want so they can see what it's actually going to look like. If you're considering writing a book, a memoir, your family's favorite recipes, whatever it is that's on your heart, I would encourage you to start and just know that you need a few things to inspire you and to keep you going. Good luck on this journey. It's worth it.